All right, guys, here we go. I'll be giving you updates on what floor I'm on to. Right now, we got point 2. And I'm gonna try to pace myself a little bit because I'll be honest, I haven't done 110 in a long time. So here we go. I've got my list. And while you guys are watching too, if you want to share your story about where you were when you found out about 9/11, that'd be awesome. So in between, I'll be reading off the list of names of the firemen because I want to get through all of them, make sure. What's up that you guys are already here? What's up, Thomas? I already talked to the gym, and this is my camera angle I have to go with so no one gets captured in the shot. All right, so the first name on the list is Fire Chief Peter J. Gansey Jr. Peter was 54 years old. Next we have is William F. Feehan. He was 71. He was a commissioner. Then we have Ronald Paul Buca. Ronald was 47, and he was a fire marshal. Next we have Michael Judge. Michael was 68 years old, and he was a chaplain. Actually, I just heard a story about Michael, I believe it was Michael, with Mayor Giuliani, and actually saw the photo of he was there praying with a lot of the firemen and was killed by debris. Crazy. Next we have Chief Gerard Barbara, 53 years old. Then we have Chief Donald J. Burns. Donald was 61. Next we have Chief Matthew Lancelot Ryan. He was 54 years old. Then we have Lieutenant Paul Thomas Mitchell. He was 46. We have Chief William McGovern. He's 49 years old. Oh, thank you so much. Brought me water. Thank you. I'm gonna need it. No, Instagram. You wanna watch it?
Yeah.
At Hey CMH.
What?
At Hey CMH is my tag.
Thank you.
Okay. The gym is awesome. They brought me water. Okay, so next we have, I think is where I was, Chief William McGovern. Did I say that one already? 49 years old. Chief Richard Prunty, 57 years old. Next we have Faustino Apostle Jr. Sorry about some of these names, by the way, if I get them wrong. He was 55. Then we have Lieutenant Thomas O'Hagan, 43 years old. We have Chief John P. Williamson, 46 years old. We have Chief Oriyo Palmer, 45. Lieutenant Stephen G. Harrow, 44. Lieutenant Philip Scott Petty, 43. Chief Thomas DeAngelis, 51. Thomas McCann, 45. Chief Dennis Lawrence Devlin, 51. Chief Edward F. Girati, 45. And we are, just for a progress update here, and I'll show you guys at the end so you believe me that I did all 110. I'm at 9.9 floors. We just hit 10 floors. So we're a tenth of the way there. And the firemen actually did it over the course of about 90 minutes. Now, they had full gear, right? And tanks in the heat, smoke. So imagine that, right? I'm already huffing and puffing after 10 floors. These dudes did 90 to 110 in 90 minutes. It's unreal. It's gotta be adrenaline, man. It's gotta be. And imagine going to that building knowing the odds of coming out or even being involved in something like that. It's just unbelievable. Okay, last one of this first column, we have Lieutenant Charles William Garbarini. He was 44 years old. Okay, next we have Carl Asaro. Carl was 39. We have Alan D. Feinberg. Alan was 48. Next we have is Chief John M. Paulillo, I believe is how you say that, 51. Chief Frederick Claude Sceffold, I believe, Jr., 57. Then we have Lieutenant Charles Joseph Margiota, I believe, 44. Next we have Angelia. Love you, sis. Hope you're doing all right. Thank you for the message. Next we have Lieutenant Jeffrey E. Guja, Guja. He's 49 years old. Next we have Lieutenant Anthony Jovic, 39. Next we have, I'm gonna butcher this one, guys, I'm sorry. Chief Joseph Gerzilik, 52. Next we have Michael Leopoldo Bocino, 45. Next we have Chief John Moran, he's 42. Next we have Chief Lawrence T. Stack, he was 58. Then we have Chief Dennis Cross, 60. Chief Joseph Ross Marchbanks Jr., 47. Captain Joseph D. Forelli, 47. Captain Thomas Moody, 45. Captain Timothy M. Stackpole, 42. Chief Thomas Theodore Haskell, Jr., 37. Captain Martin J. Egan, Jr., 36. Captain William O'Keefe, 48. Lieutenant Andrew Desperito, 43. Michael T. Weinberg, 34. Yeah, starting to see some younger folks in here now, as Kim just mentioned. 34, 36, 37, a lot of young folks. And I got even younger ones coming up here. Looks like Carlito Anaya Jr., 35. James C. Riches, 29, youngest one so far. Another one, Thomas G. Scholes, I believe, Scholes, I don't know, 27. Paul, it's the only bad thing about reading names from New York. You got a lot of diverse names, right? Paul A. Techtmeyer, 41. And my wife is gonna kill me, guys, for the butchering of these Hispanic names. I'm gonna hear about it when I get home, trust me. Manuel Del Val Jr., 32. Paul Bayer, 37. Thomas Holohan, 36. And just for a progress update, we are now at 23 floors. So we're a little bit shy of a fourth of the way. And we're at 8 minutes, so we're making good time here. William R. Johnston. William was 31. Next we have is Robert Paro. Robert was 35. Then we have Lieutenant Greg Arthur Atlas. He was 44. Jeffrey James Olson. Jeffrey was 31. Then we have Paul Pancini. He's 34 years old. Then we have Captain William Francis Burke Jr. William was 46 years old. Thomas Anthony Casoria, 29. Michael J. Elferis, 27, really young. Vincent D. Kane, 37. Martin E. McWilliams, 35. Robert McPadden, 30. James Nicholas, tough one here. Papa George, actually it's just Papa George, one word, 29. Hector Luis Terrado, Jr., 30. Mark P. Whitford, Mark was 31. Captain Thomas Farino, 37. Dana R. Hannon, 29. Robert W. Spear Jr., Robert was 30. Lieutenant Kevin Pfeiffer, 42. Next we have David Arce. David was 36. Michael Boyle, 37. Robert Evans. Robert was 36. Keith Roy Marcellus Maynard, 30. John Giordano, 47. Lieutenant John F. Ginley, 37. Kevin Bracken, 37. All right, we got one page down. We are 11 minutes in, and we are 33 floors in. So we're about a third of the way there. And again, I'm huffing and puffing. I don't know how these guys, I don't know how they did that. That stuff has to weigh 100 pounds at least. Super hot, smoky. Again, it has to be adrenaline because I'm in shorts and air conditioning. And it's not like I don't work out often. So man, I don't know how these guys did it. I really don't. Don't know how they did it. Michael D. DeAria, the youngest one by far here, 25 years old. He's a child. Bruce Gary, 51. Michael F. Lynch. Michael was 30. Stephen Mercado, 38. Paul John Gill. Paul's 34. Jose Guadalupe, 37. Leonard Regaglia, 36. Christopher Santora. Jesus, guys, this one's... What do you think this one is? What do you think your youngest guess is? This is it by far. How old do you think? Christopher Santora, youngest of the day so far. Younger than 25. I'll give you a hint. Chris was 23 years old. 23. Lieutenant Peter L. Don't know how to say this one. Freund, I guess. Yeah, Kim guessed 23. It's 23. It was Christopher Santora. Peter L. Freund, 45. Lieutenant Peter L. Freund, sorry. Next we have Robert Lane. Robert is 28. Christopher Mozillo, 27. Stephen P. Russell. Stephen was 40. Lieutenant Robert B. Nagel, 55. Ruben de Correa, 44. Lieutenant Paul Richard Martini, 37. Gregory Joseph Buck, 37. Christopher Pickford, 32. John Albert Shard, 34. Lieutenant Robert Francis Wallace, 43. Another young one here. Carl Henry Joseph, 25. All right, update. We're at 44 floors in 14 minutes. Where were we? Carl Henry Joseph, Sean Edward Powell, 32. Kevin O'Reilly, 28. Lieutenant Carl John Badesian, I believe, would be my guess how to say that, 35. John Joseph Florio, 33. Michael Edward Roberts, 31. Kenneth Thomas Watson, 39. Daniel Sir, 37. Lieutenant Kenneth Phelan, 41. Stephen Coakley, 36. Neil Joseph Levy, 34. John Chipora, 39. David Paul De Rubio, 38. Brian McAleese, 36. Stanley S. Smagala Jr., 36. All right, we're at 49 floors. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. Lieutenant Brian G. Ahern, 43. Frank Bonomo, 42. Michael Scott Carlo, 34. Jeffrey Stark, 30. Eugene Whelan, 31. Edward James White III, 30. Lieutenant Stephen Bates, 42. Nicholas Paul Chiofalo, I believe, 39. Francis Esposito, 32. Lee S. Failing, 28. Lawrence G. Vealing, I believe, 44. Lieutenant Glenn E. Wilkinson, 46. Ronnie Lee Henderson, 52. Michael Ragusa, 29. Sorry. Anthony Rodriguez, 36. Raymond R. York, 45. Chief John Fanning, 54. Lieutenant John A. I believe Creasy, my best guess, 48. Dennis M. Carey, 51. Martin N. DeMeo, 47. Thomas Gardner, 39. Where are you at, Thomas? I lost my spot. Jonathan R. Holman, 48. Dennis Scalso, 46. Kevin Joseph Smith, 47. Captain Frederick the Third Jr. I don't know how that works. 49. Michael J. Clark is 27. George D. Pascal, 33. Okay, update. We are at 59 floors. So we're a little bit more than halfway of what it would have been to the top of the Trade Center. And we are at 18 minutes. Dennis P. Germain, 33. Daniel Edward Harlan. I'm dripping at this point, guys. Literally. Daniel Edward Harlan, 41. Carl Molinaro, 32. Dennis Michael Mulligan, 32. Captain Patrick J. Brown, 48. Lieutenant Kevin W. Donnelly. Kevin was 43. Michael Carroll, 39. James Raymond Coyle, 26. Gerard Dewan, I believe, or Dewan, one of the two, 35. Jeffrey John Giordano. I think we saw another Giordano, maybe they were related. 45. Joseph Maloney, 45. John Kevin McAvoy, 47. Timothy Patrick McSweeney, 37. Joseph J. Ogren, 30. Stephen John Olson, 38. Captain David Terrence Woolley, 54. Lieutenant Daniel O. Callahan, 42. Joseph Angelini Jr., 38. Peter Brennan, 30. Michael E. Brennan, they have to be related. He was only 27. Michael Hobb, 34. Michael F. Lynch, 33. Samuel Otis, or Otis, possibly, 45. All right, we're 2 pages in, guys. We've got like 2.5 more to go. We're about halfway. I want to make sure I get through all the names, so I'll go a little bit faster. John James Tipping II, 33. Lieutenant Vincent Francis Giamona, 40. Lieutenant Michael Warcola, 51. Louis Arena, 32. Andrew Brunn, 28. Thomas Hannafin, 36. Paul Hanlon Keating, 38. John A. Santori, 49. Gregory Thomas Salcedo, 31. Captain Vernon Allen Richard, 53. George Kane, 35. Robert Joseph Fody, 42. Charles Mendez, Charles was 38. Richard Muldowney Jr., 40. Vincent Princiota, 39. Lieutenant Vincent Gerard Halloran, 43. Gerard Baptiste, 35. John P. Tierney, 27. Jeffrey P. Waltz, 37. Another young one here. Sean Patrick Talon, 26. Lieutenant Michael Quilty, 42. We're at 75 floors. Michael F. Camarada, youngest so far, 22 years old. Man. Edward James Day, Edward was 45. John F. Hefferman, 37. Richard John Kelly Jr., he's 50. Robert King Jr., 36. Matthew Rogan, 37. Angel L., my wife's gonna kill me, Huarbe Jr., I should know that one. How to say that right, 35. Michael D. Mullen, 34. Captain Walter G. Hines, 46. Thomas Hetzel, 33. Dennis McHugh, 34. Thomas E. Sabea, 44. Gregory Stajk, I believe. Stajk, my best guess. 46. Lieutenant Joseph Gerard Levy, 45. Richard Leonard Allen, 30. Arthur Thaddeus Berry, 35. Thomas W. Kelly, 50. Scott Kopytko, Kopytko, 32. Scott Larson, 35. Douglas E. Olschlager, or Olschlager, I believe, 36. Eric T. Olson, 41. Whew. Whew. Lieutenant Raymond E. Murphy, 46. I'm not laughing about this, guys. I'm laughing about how I'm getting close. I'm tapping out here. Robert Curatolo, 31. Captain John R. Fisher, 46. John Patrick Burnside, 36. James Michael Gray, 34. Sean S. Hanley, 35. David LaForge, 50. Robert Thomas Linane, 33. Robert D. McMahon, 35. Gerald T. Atwood, 38. Thanks for the love, guys. Appreciate it. I need it. Did I say Gerald T. Atwood? 38, I think I did. Gerard Duffy, 53. Keith Glasgow, 38. Joseph Henry, 25. William E. Krakowski, 36. Benjamin Suarez, 34. Captain Daniel J. Brethel, 43. Stephen Elliott Belson, 51. Lieutenant Glenn C. Perry, 41. Matthew Barnes, 37. John Michael Collins, 42. Kenneth Kumpel, 42. Robert Manara, 54. Joseph Ravelli, 43. Paul G. Ruback, 50. John Marshall, 35. Captain Frank Callahan, 51. Some people at the gym are giving me love, guys. That's why I was waving or indicating. So that's cool. Where was I? It was Jay Morello, right? Or James Andrew Gibberson, 43, somewhere around there. I'll go back just in case. Paul G. Ruback, 50. John Marshall, 35. Captain Frank Callahan, 51. James Andrew Gibberson, 43. Vincent S. Morello, 34. Michael Oden, 42. Michael Roberts, 30. Joseph Spoor Jr., 35. Peter Alexander Bielfeld, 44. Lieutenant Joseph Gulickson, 37. Patrick Byrne, 39. Salvatore B. Calabro, 38, I'm sorry. Brian Canizaro, 30. Thomas J. Kennedy, 36. We just passed 90 floors, guys. We got about 19 more floors to the top. Joseph Maffeo, 31. Terrence A. McShane, 37. Captain Vincent Brunton, 43. Thomas Richard Kelly, 39. Henry Alfred Miller Jr., 51. Dennis Oberg, 28. Frank Anthony Palumbo, 46. All right, we're down to the last page and a half, and we're down to 15 more floors, and we are almost 30 minutes in. Ooh, I'm gonna make it, guys. I don't know how the hell they did this. I don't know how they did it. Lieutenant Christopher P. Sullivan, 39. Lieutenant Robert M. Reagan, 48. Joseph Agnello, 35. Vernon Paul Cherry, 49. Scott Matthew Davidson, 33. Leon Smith Jr., 48. Peter Anthony Vega, 36. Christian Michael Otto Regenhard, 28. Andrew Jordan, 36. Michael Kiefer, 25. Thomas Mingione, 34. John T. Vigiano II, 36. Sergio Villanueva, 33. Michael Joseph Cawley, 32. Captain Terrence S. Hatton, 41. Lieutenant Dennis Mojica, 50. Joseph Angelini Sr., 63. Gary Geidel, 44. William Henry, 49. Kenneth Joseph Marino, 40. Michael Montesi, 39. Gerard Terrence Nevins, 46. Patrick J. O'Keefe, 44. Brian Edward Sweeney, 29. David M. Weiss, 41. Lieutenant Peter C. Martin, 43. William David Lake, 44. Daniel F. Libretti, 43. John Napolitano, 32. Wish I had a cool name like that. Kevin O'Rourke, 44. Lincoln Quap, 38. Edward Rawl, 44. We just passed 100 floors, guys. 101. Christopher Joseph Blackwell. What say we keep going until I get them all? I won't stop, whatever it takes. Edward Rawl, 44. Christopher Joseph Blackwell, 42. Thomas Foley, 32. Thomas Gambino Jr., 48. Raymond Meisenheimer, 46. Donald J. Reagan, 47. Gerard Patrick Schrang, 45. Captain Brian Hickey, 47. Lieutenant Kevin Dowdle, 46. Terrence Patrick Farrell, 45. William J. Mahoney, 37. Peter Allen Nelson, 42. Darrell V. Pearsall, 34. Captain Louis Joseph Modaferri, 45. Lieutenant Harvey Harrell, 49. Lieutenant Joseph A. Mascali, 44. John P. Bergen, 39. Carl Vincent Beanie, 44. Michael Curtis Fiore, 46. Andre G. Fletcher, 37. Douglas Charles Miller, 34. 106 floors, guys. Jeffrey Matthew Palazzo, 33. Nicholas P. Rosamondo. We ain't quitting, baby. They didn't quit, I ain't quitting. Alan Tara Seawitz, 45. Robert J. Crawford, 62. Chief Raymond Matthew Downey, 63. Chief Charles Casper, 54. Captain Patrick J. Waters, 44. Lieutenant Tiffany Higgins, 43. Lieutenant Michael Thomas Russo Sr., 44. Captain James M. Amato, 43. Lieutenant Edward A. Diatri, 38. Lieutenant Michael Esposito, 41. Lieutenant Michael N. Fedor, 53. Brian Bilcher, 37. All right, we're exactly at 110, guys. Made it to the top. Let's keep at it. Gary Box, 37. Thomas M. Butler, 37. Peter Carroll, 42. Robert Cordes, 28. David J. Fontana, 37. Matthew David Garvey, 37. Stephen Gerard Seiler, 34. Lieutenant William E. McGinn, 43. Eric Allen, 44. Andrew Fredericks, 40. David Halderman, 40. Timothy Haskell, 34. Emmanuel Mojica, 37. Lawrence Virgilio, 38. All right. Jesus Christ. Somebody pray for me. All right. We got like 10 more. All right. Lieutenant Michael K. Healy, 42. Thomas Patrick Cullen III, 31. Robert Hamilton, 43. Michael J. Lyons, 32. Gregory Sikorsky, 34. R. Bruce Van Hine, 48. Terrell Coleman, 32. Thomas Kovikis, 48. Peter J. Langon, 41. Peter Patrick Lyons, 34. Kevin Pryor, 28. Lieutenant Ronald T. Kerwin, 42. Ronnie E. Guys, 43. Joseph Hunter, 31. Jonathan Lee Ielpi, 29. Adam David Rand, 30. Timothy Matthew Welty, 34. Paramedic Carlos R. Lillo, 37. And paramedic Richard J. Quinn. We are at the top. All right, guys, we did it. 115 floors, 34 minutes. So we made it again, I don't know how those guys did it. I really don't. But you know, these people have families, and they've been without these people for 20 years. And a lot of these people, who knows what they'd be doing today, the impact they would have, the families, the kids that didn't get a chance to spend time with them. And it was all in service to provide us with safety and rescue. And I feel like we've lost so much sight of that over 20 years. Everybody said never forget. And I feel like it's not only did we forget, we went the other way. We went totally insane. So, you know, I feel like the least I could do is get my butt up here and simulate what they did, just so I have perspective. I watched a video recently where somebody went on a ride along with a cop that was anti-police, and they had an entirely different perspective after that because they have no idea what it takes. So I'm not saying that what I did today here simulates that at all, but I can tell you this, it's as close as I want to get. So anyways, pray for their families, pray for their loved ones that have been without them for 20 years, because that's a long time, guys. It feels like a lifetime ago. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years, but it really is a lifetime ago. So I hope you guys hold your friends and family and loved ones near and dear today, and realize how blessed we are to still be here, because I guarantee you they didn't wake up that morning thinking this is it. Went in and just doing their job, and next thing you know, the most chaos we've ever seen ever rained down on top of them, and they had a decision to make, and it was to answer the call of duty. And it took me the entire 110 floors to read all these names, and I don't know if you guys have been here the whole time, but I didn't take much break in between. And I told you there's a whole 29 to 50 pages worth, 3 columns wide, of the other people that died, excluding the firemen. And I just knew there's no way I could get through all of them in time. That's how many people died that day. It's an amazing travesty, and I hope you guys got something out of watching me do this today, because it's almost cathartic, honestly. It's almost cathartic to do this, and hopefully honor those that have done something far braver than I've ever done in my life, that's for sure. So hope you guys are well. Thanks for some of you with me the whole time, all 110. I feel like you were there with me, so I appreciate you cheering me along. God bless you guys. Happy Sabbath. And I'll see you soon.